This entire video, every unedited word was written by AI. Are you looking for a comprehensive guide to investing during a recession? Whether you're new to the stock market or a seasoned investor, understanding the current economic climate and how to strategically invest in a recession is essential. In this video, you'll learn the basics of how to find value in a recession, how to establish a cash reserve, when to diversify your investments, and other strategies for making the most of your money in volatile times. Get ready to weather the storm and come out ahead. How to find value in a recession. The stock market can be a tricky place to navigate during a recession, with investors feeling uncertain and hesitant to invest. But there are still ways to find value in a recession. Here are a few strategies to consider. Look for stocks with a low price to earnings ratio. When looking for stocks to invest in, always consider the price to earnings ratio. Companies with a low ratio are more likely to be undervalued and therefore offer a greater return on investment. Focus on stable companies. During a recession, it's important to focus on investing in companies that are relatively stable. Companies that operate in industries like food, healthcare, and technology are good bets because their products are always in demand. Look for companies with good cash flow. When investing during a recession, it's important to focus on companies that have strong cash flow. Companies with strong cash flow are less likely to be affected by the current economic situation and can help you minimize your risk. Invest in bonds. Bonds are a great way to diversify your portfolio and protect your investments during a recession. Bonds are debt instruments, which means you're lending money to a company or government and they'll pay you back with interest. This can be a great way to get a steady return on your investments during a recession. Establish a cash reserve. Creating a cash reserve is an important part of investing during a recession. A cash reserve is an amount of money you set aside and don't use for any other purpose. It's your emergency fund, and it will help protect your investments and provide you with a cushion if the market takes a turn for the worse. Here are a few tips for establishing a cash reserve. Calculate your expenses. Before you set aside any money, it's important to calculate your expenses. You need to know how much money you need to cover your living expenses in the event of an emergency. Set a goal and a timeline. Once you've calculated your expenses, you should set a goal and a timeline for reaching it. Consider setting a goal of 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses and a timeline of 1 to 2 years. Start investing now. Once you've set your goal and timeline, it's time to start investing. Investing in low-risk investments like bonds or certificates of deposit can help you reach your goal without taking too much risk. Monitor your progress. Finally, it's important to monitor your progress and adjust your strategy as needed. By regularly tracking your investments and making any necessary changes, you can ensure that your cash reserve will be ready when you need it. When to diversify your investments. Diversifying your investments is critical for protecting your portfolio in a recession. Here are a few tips for when to diversify your investments. When the market is volatile. When the stock market is volatile, it's important to diversify your investments in order to spread out your risk. Investing in different asset classes helps to reduce the risk of losses if one asset class underperforms. When interest rates are low. When interest rates are low, it's a good idea to diversify your investments to include higher yielding assets. Investing in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds can help you find higher returns while still minimizing your risk. When you have extra cash. It's also a good idea to diversify your investments when you have extra cash. Investing in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds can help you get the most out of your money. When you have long-term goals. Finally, it's important to diversify your investments when you have long-term financial goals. Investing in a mix of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds can help you reach your goals without taking too much risk. Other strategies for making the most of your money in volatile times. When investing during a recession, it's important to use strategies that help you minimize your risk while still getting the most out of your money. Here are a few strategies to consider. Invest in index funds. Index funds are a great way to get exposure to a wide range of stocks without having to pick individual stocks. Index funds track a specific index, such as the S&P 500, and invest in all of the stocks within that index. Look for value stocks. Value stocks are stocks that are undervalued in the market and offer a great return on investment. Value stocks can provide a great opportunity to make the most of your money in volatile times. Rebalance your portfolio. Rebalancing your portfolio is an important part of protecting your investments during a recession. Rebalancing helps you maintain a healthy balance of investments and can help you protect your portfolio in times of volatility. Invest in commodities. Investing in commodities is another great way to make the most of your money in volatile times. Commodities such as gold, oil, and natural gas can provide a safe haven for your investments and can help you protect your money from market downturns. Alternative investments to consider during a recession. When investing during a recession, it's important to consider alternative investments in order to minimize your risk and maximize your gains. Here are a few alternative investments to consider. Real estate. Real estate is a great way to invest during a recession. Even in a down market, real estate can provide steady returns and it can be a great way to diversify your portfolio. Precious metals. Precious metals like gold, silver, and platinum are a great way to protect your investments during a recession. These metals can provide a safe haven for your investments, and their prices tend to rise during economic downturns. Cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is another great way to diversify your portfolio during a recession. Cryptocurrency is a digital asset, and its value tends to be less volatile in a recessionary environment. Collectibles. Investing in collectibles can be a great way to make the most of your money during a recession. Collectibles like coins, stamps, and art can provide a steady return, and they can be a great way to hedge against market volatility. Investing during a recession can be a daunting task, but with the right strategies, you can make the most of your money and come out ahead. Understanding the basics of how to find value in a recession, when to diversify your investments, and other strategies for making the most of your money in volatile times is essential. Additionally, establishing a cash reserve and considering alternative investments can help you protect your investments and maximize your returns. Remember, investing during a recession can be a great opportunity to make the most of your money and come out ahead. So take the time to research, understand the current economic climate, and make smart investments. You'll be glad you did. Secret comment is panda with a suit and briefcase, representing an investor feeling the pressure of a recession. Why stock market investing is important. This is supposed to be why you're going to watch another video. Investing in the stock market can be a great way to build wealth and secure your financial future. With the right strategy and knowledge, you can make smart decisions that will pay off in the long run. Watching another video about stock market investing can help you give a better understanding of the markets and help you make informed decisions. A video can also provide a unique perspective and valuable tips that can help you become a successful investor. Okay, enough with the AI writing. Back to humans. Are you freaked out because that was actually relevant and impressive, or are you not impressed with the AI? Let me know in a comment, and make sure to use the secret emoji of a panda with a suit and briefcase.
And then just for the heck of it too, I went into Night Cafe and I did that prompt as something to generate and see what a panda with a suit and briefcase looks like. Look at that guy. He's so tough. He's ready to do some work. He's doing business. I don't know if those buildings are made out of money or if he's just thinking about them being made of money, but he's ready to go. Then check this guy out. Wow. Like the godfather of pandas in suits with a briefcase. I'm not sure if he's going to do business or murder your family. I don't know what his deal is.
Okay, let's back up a little bit here. So I did a screen recording of myself while I was making this video, and to be frank, I'm shocked at how well this worked. Kind of freaked me out a little bit. I didn't realize that it was gonna stay on track on its own. So somehow, here's the interesting thing. So Notion is this sort of note-taking, life planning kind of app that I use for everything in my life. And so Notion came out with this Notion AI feature. And so what I did was tell it to literally do this whole video for me. And so I asked it to create a title for a personal finance video for me, and it came up with some legitimate answers. I'm shocked at how good they were. I didn't like the first sort of go around with them, and so I revised it and said video titles for how to invest during a recession, because I went, well, that may or may not happen next year in 2023, so let's see what happens here. And it really had some fairly decent ideas. I mean, there was nothing that was incredible, but they're fairly decent. So I picked a couple here to save. Then the next part is to figure out a thumbnail. And so I went through the kind of options here to say, with AI Assist, how can we do this? And so I landed on Brainstorm as the tool, and I just asked it, designing a thumbnail for a video about investing during a recession. I didn't know what it was going to do. Would it put out an image for me? Would it just describe something for me? I don't know. And so it ends up basically just describing what this could look like. And I mean, it's not bad. It's at least what I would come up with over the course of a few minutes, but it gave me 10 options. With all these things, bam, 10 options, bam, 10 options. So I picked out a couple of them that I liked the most as far as an option goes and saved those.
And then of course I had to try and use those thumbnail prompts to generate a thumbnail through an AI service. So I went back to Night Cafe and I typed in something like weathering the storm, and I got these 4 images that are sort of cartoony, sort of a video game, pretty epic. And then you go over here to this one, which is Wall Street. I said something like Wall Street storm, kind of chaotic city with lightning and all this mess happening, which is interesting. And then this one is kind of a favorite of mine. It's very colorful. Somebody's out there in this unique place. It's not like a wasteland, but also there are dinosaurs. Flying dinosaurs. There's like a T-Rex there who's got kind of a fin. Very interesting looking. And then here's one of my favorites overall, which is this Wall Street apocalypse that I typed in. And it's sort of like bull versus bear with lightning that also looks like a stock kind of graph there in the background. And it's sort of like, you can tell it's very competitive and interesting and almost like a little polluted and weird. Hey man, this AI art, it's something else.
Then the next thing we needed was a decent intro to the video. Let's introduce the topic. Let's hopefully create some intrigue and some interest for you, the viewer. So I went into AI Assist. I said, help me write an engaging opening for a video about investing during a recession. And so not only does it write this, but it literally put an emoji up there at the top. It gives me a title formatted the right way, Investing in a Recession, a guide for navigating uncertain times. Like, that's a pretty good title right there. And then it introduces the topic. It says, here's what you might be looking for. Here's what's gonna happen in the video. Here's like the 3 bullet points of what we're gonna go over. I mean, shockingly good. So thus far, as a brainstorming tool, I'm very impressed. I went through and highlighted everything that I was gonna actually say in the video or something I was gonna use in green so it would stand out. So as we look at this, everything in green was 100% AI. So then what I was thinking was gonna happen is that every time I restarted here, it was gonna have to be like a fresh session for the AI. And what I learned over the course of time is that it was aware of the general topic. It was like, it was learning as we went along. And I tried to write like a funny or a witty introduction, but what it came up with just wasn't great. It was kind of awkward. It was kind of like not really an introduction. It was more like this pseudo instructional thing. And the only funny part was like, don't forget to have fun, which investing during a recession isn't really like that. So I said, hey, let's try again. And then it didn't really work. So then I literally got the first topic that it put out, how to find value in a recession, and said, help me write, and just copy and pasted that line, how to find value in a recession, in there. And it just continued with the trend of a video. Like, oh yeah, we're making a video still, and here's some more stuff for you to talk about. I mean, it formatted it for me with the little bullet points with bold. It gave me 4 talking points. It described each one. They're not the best talking points in the world, but as a starting point, something that took 10 seconds, unbelievable, amazing. And then I just continued that down with every sort of topic that it gave me, copy and paste that one line, and then give me a chunk to speak about. Done. And so then for this next chunk, the other strategies to make the most of your money in volatile times, that was a little bit more vague. And so I was like, well, we'll see how this does. But it totally knocked him out. And then I thought, what else could be useful during a recession? What about some ideas about like alternative investment methods? So I asked for that, and it knew what those were. I mean, it was contextual. It wasn't like it was somehow lost in the terminology. It was like, no, it got the right context here. Then I asked it to write a conclusion. It gives me a little cute emoji and a title and everything correctly. It concludes the video in a logical way. I mean, I'm shocked. So then I asked emojis referencing an economic recession, like an investing recession, and it came up with some goofy emoji name. So I think the panda really made the least amount of sense, but I picked that one just because it was kind of funny. And then I said, hey, why should you watch another video? Why should they continue watching another video about stock market investing? That was that last paragraph that was really kind of nonsensical. Like, it didn't make any sense. But hey, overall, I think this is nuts. I think this changes the whole future of copywriting. And to be clear, I never want to do this again. Just literally reading you a script of what an AI program wrote. I don't think it was like terrible, but it also wasn't super great either. I mean, it had that repeating line there about buying stocks, bonds, and mutual funds to keep you covered in a recession. It was like, okay, you've said this 4 or 5 times now, almost in a row. So I think that we need to break this up, and it doesn't know. I mean, it's not a human, but you and I know that that doesn't make for very good things to listen to. So part of the reason I don't want to do it to you again is just because it's not that great. But it also is like this weirdly disconnected thing. Like I see the opportunity here for people to just pump out mediocre copywriting and really have no human involvement whatsoever. And my goal is to connect with you and have this be kind of a personable thing, because you know that I'm speaking to you from the heart, and what I'm saying I really mean. And so it feels like dishonest in a way to be like, oh, I'm saying these words. I didn't write them, but I'm saying them. Like, I could ask it to write me an article about fashion or tech or the future of aviation or whatever else, and like put out information about that kind of sounds well informed, but I'm not the guy to do that. You know, I don't know those topics. And so we have enough of a problem sorting through human to human interactions, let alone knowing, is this a human to human interaction, or am I being spoken to by an AI that generated a voice that generated a top-down view of like a handwriting, and is there a human involved in this at all? Or is this completely AI from top to bottom? We're not in the movie Terminator. I don't feel like threatened in a way, but I do feel like we have to be a little bit more cautious about what we believe, if that makes sense. I'm not necessarily confident that the AI's highest priority is integrity. Obviously, that's not everyone's highest priority either, but for some of us, we take pride in that. But again, never again will I do this. Unless I start a fashion channel. What's it gonna do? What happened? Let's do it right now, live. What happens if we scroll to the bottom of this Notion file, I set up a screen recording, and I say, help me write a blog post about the future of high fashion in America in 2023. Oh my. Sustainable design, collaborations, technology, affordable luxury, social media. Look at all this. Isn't that incredible? Wow. Keep writing. Wow. That's as easy as it is. Could I become a fashion influencer next year? Maybe so. Keep an eye out. Speaking of fashion, not wearing any pants.